Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to write to the console because in a lot of the simpler programs that we're going to make that are non-graphical, we're going to have to do that. So let's take a look at that. I've got a solution going here it's got a lot of projects in it, so I'm just going to add a new solution to this project, and I can do that by right-clicking on the solution and saying Add New Project. And since this is, I'm going to write to the console, this has got to be a console application .NET framework. So I'm just going to call it console demo down here and click OK. So the whole thing is, if you want to write to the console, which is kind of your Windows command prompt, you want to make a console application .NET framework. So let's click OK. There we go. So there's our main function here. And I just zoomed in. I'm using Control and the middle mouse wheel. Woo! All right. So, so how do I write to the console? It's real easy. If you type CW and hit Tab twice, that will expand to console.WriteLine, and that will print out whatever text follows, followed by a new line character. So I'll say hello world. There we go. Now if I run this, what will happen is this will print out and then the console window will close. So if I run this, oh wait, actually it's going to run the wrong project. I always do that. Console demo set as startup project. There we go. All right, now so now if I run this, you see it's going to pop open. It very quickly said hello world and then it terminated. If you don't want it to do that, you can say start without debugging up here, debug, start without debugging, and it'll kind of hold itself open there. But you see it said hello world followed by a new line. Well, what if I wanted to print out stuff without the new line character? Well, before that, so let's try console dot, let's see what else we have in here. We have console dot write. So let's write A and then write line hello world. So now if we run this debug, start without debugging, you can see it says A hello world. So write just writes this to the console, but it doesn't print the carriage return that drops the the text down a line. So watch what happens if I do A B C, and then instead I'll make this following one here a write line. So it'll print out A B C followed by a new line, and then it'll print out this followed by a new line. So let's try that. So you can see it does A, B, C, hello world. Okay, great. So we've got write, which writes to the console, and write line, which will print out text followed by a carriage return or a new line character. Okay, so what if we want to print out values to the console? So let me make a variable here called health, and I'll set it to 100. So how do I print out the variable health to the console? Well, we could say console.WriteLine. All right, so if I just put the variable health here, that will print out that integer to the console. So if I go to debug, start without debugging, you can see it's going to say, okay, so it printed out ABC hello world, and it printed out our health. Well, what if we want to mix the text with the number? There's two ways to do that. So we could say, your health is, and then we could use the plus sign, and the plus sign will just concatenate or smash all those things together. So it'll print out this text followed by that number. And let's see what that does. Debug, start without debugging. Okay, so it says your health is 100. So you can see it took the text, this is your health is, and it squished it together with the variable health. All right, so what if we wanted to print out, well, there's other ways to do this. So let's look at some other ways to do this that are just a little less clunky. So one way to do this is to use a placeholder. And if I put the number 0 inside of the curly braces, what the 0 means here is this is a placeholder for the first thing. So 0 is a placeholder for the first argument. So watch what happens now. debug, start without debugging, it'll print your health is 100. So it's substituted in health for this thing. What if I had put this thing in here a bunch of times and run it? Start without debugging. You can see, so it's substituted in health for each one of those parentheses, right? Now, we can put in format specifiers here. Watch this. So if I change my health to be 50, I can actually put in some format specifiers here. Let's just say I always want this thing to be printed out as a 3-digit number. I'll get rid of this and run this. So now it's going to take health, but it's going to pad it out to 3 digits. So watch that. Start without debugging. Okay, you can see, so it padded it to be 3 digits. So that's the power of these format specifiers versus squishing everything together with a plus sign, is that the format specifier actually allows you to control how that number is formatted. So maybe you want to truncate it to a certain number of digits, or you want a $ in front of it. That's what the format specifiers let you do. What if you had more than one thing that you wanted to print? So let's make a score variable and set it to 0, and we'll say your health is 0 and your score is, and then let's put a placeholder for the next thing, and then so what we've got now here is print this, but substitute in the first thing, health, for argument 0, and substitute in score for parameter 1, right? So the values start getting numbered at 0. So this is value 0, this is value 1, and now let's try that. Debug, start without debugging, and it said your health is 50 and your score is 0. So now that's a way of inserting integers or values, anything. You could these could be any type of data that are into a string of text. So that's how you take values and insert them into some text. Now it is worth mentioning here, what if you want to print out, there are certain characters, control characters, that start with a slash, right? So how do you do something like print a backspace or something, right? So console dot write, well, so let's say /b. So this will not print /b to the console. The slash means this is a special, the slash means the next thing that follows is a command to format the text or tell the console what to do. So slash is a special character, and slash with the next character combined do special things. So /b means print out a backspace. So what this is going to do is print out A, B, C, and then back up and delete the C. So let's see what that does. Start without debugging, and you can see now we have, oh, that's interesting, it did not print the backspace. What if we print out 2 backspaces? Not sure why that's not working. Oh, you know why? Because I dropped down a line. That's right. So watch. No, it actually does work. So now watch this. If I put the backspace, because when I did the backspaces, I was no longer on the same line as A, B, and C. But now, if I print out hello world and then backspace up, it'll chop off those 2 guys. So there's backspace. Let's try that. Oops. Debug, start without debugging, and you could see I did the same thing. All right, because no. Oh, I'm losing it. Build, start without debugging. There it is. You can see, so it backed up and deleted those characters. So if you need to back up and delete something on the line that you're currently on, /b will delete a character, and you can put in a bunch of them. There's some other ones here. /t is a tab. It'll tab you over. /n is a new line, so that'll drop you down a character. /a is the bell. So now if I run this, watch this, start without debugging. You see, you hear the bell sound or the ding, right? Slash A is a special character that means sound the bell. So there you go. Slash A is the bell. Slash B is backspace. Slash N is a carriage return, and I can show you that. Slash N, slash N, slash N. Put some slash N's there. Debug start without debugging, and you can see now we got a whole bunch of carriage returns in there. So there you go. That's how you write to the console. We've got write and write line. We can write special characters that start with a slash to back up, drop down a line, tab things over, format them nicely. And we've got our format specifiers. So if we want to have a text string and insert values into it, we use curly brace 0, curly brace 1, curly brace 2 to indicate a placeholder for a value that we supply later after the text. And they get inserted into the curly braces. So here health got inserted into spot 0, score got inserted into slot 1 there. So that should help you navigate the console, at least getting stuff printed out and formatted nicely.